We've been showing you old school movements. We're kind of going back in history a little bit, and it's stuff that people still use all the time. I shouldn't say that. But a lot of people will equate these exercises with athletes, with bodybuilders, powerlifters, or something. And what I'm trying to tell you is if you're just a typical couch potato needing to get in shape, these are some of the most profound movements that you're ever going to use because they work so many things at one time. Now, this exercise I'm showing today is really pretty much an isolation exercise because it's just for trapezius, but it's also trapezius, which is these muscles up here, and it's also the shoulders a little bit, and your grip gets tested by it, because I'm using a little weight today, but if you're using, you can really load up the bar a lot when you do this particular movement. So it's a very simple exercise. I'm not going to make it anything harder than it really is. We're going to take a bar. We're going to go shoulder width, a little wider than shoulder width, and then what I see people, I'm going to show, I have a habit of showing people what not to do at first. I see people doing, rolling their shoulders. That's wrong. Don't roll them either way. That's wrong. All you want to do on this movement is straight up and straight down. That's why we call it a shrug. And the repetitions on this, historically, we've told people to go higher. So we're going to go 12 or 15 repetitions. And the trapezius muscle is one of those muscles that gets used a lot all day. It holds up your neck, it holds up your head. So it can take a little more repetitions. Having said that, I also believe you should go down and do low reps, such as 5s from time to time. Now, what's the purpose of this? Why am I doing that? Because I don't want to be a football player. I don't want to protect my neck. If you're a football player, you do this because you protect your neck. In our society, we spend a lot of time in front of computers. I do. I'm a guy that runs health clubs, and I'm always in front of a computer now. It's good for your posture, again. And I'm going to show you the same movement can be done with dumbbells. And a lot of people prefer dumbbells, and the reason is you don't have the bar resting on you, it's to your side. All right? And this is basically what I just showed you with the bars, you can see. All right, but there's a movement that I like to do, especially with women that we train, and that's a seated position. I'm just sitting down on a bench now, and instead of going straight up and down, like you've already seen me do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt forward just slightly. It's just very slight. And now, when I pull up, I'm pulling back as well. I don't know if you can see that little bit of difference, but trust me, I can feel the little bit of difference. And this goes back to the posture thing. And like I said, you can use a lot more weight than I used on this, but you don't have to. You can start very light. You could go outside and get you a couple of bricks and do it. And if you did 15 or 20 or 30, because it's so light, at 30, you'd probably be smarting a little bit. When you start doing this stuff, one of the things I see people doing wrong all the time, and it's a little bit of a pet peeve, it's almost like they get religion about exercise. I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 months or whatever. That's not realistic. You're setting yourself up for failure in the very beginning when you are that guy. Don't be that guy. Here's what you do. You start off easy. If you're going from nothing, doing absolutely nothing, which probably is what most of you have been doing, what you want to do is say, you know what, next week, I'm going to try to get 30 minutes of exercise for the week. Not a day. You thought I was going to say a day, didn't you? For the week. What is that? That's less than 5 minutes a day. I'm going to give you Sunday off. Do 5 minutes a day for 6 days. Or if that's too strenuous for you, let's do 10 minutes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's your 30 minutes. You would be amazed. You're probably sitting there thinking, what's that going to do? I think that's why a lot of people never get started. I honestly believe that they think it's too daunting a task. They just think it's too much effort, it's too much work, and I just can't devote that much time to it. It doesn't take that much time. I've been training myself since I was 13 years old, and I'm 46. So that's 33 years of nonstop training. And my training literally takes me about 30 to 40 minutes 3 days a week. And I would love to do more, but I'm a businessman. I'm running a pretty sizable business, and I have things to do and other commitments. And cardio-wise, everybody thinks treadmill. Got to get on a treadmill. Got to get on a elliptical. Like I play pickup basketball with my little boy and some friends. That's my cardio. And it's fun, it's joy, it should be joy. If you're thinking of this as something, if you're dreading it, first thing you've got to do, don't get off the couch yet. You've got to change your whole mindset. You can't look at this as something you've got to do. Or if you can't figure out a way to flip that switch in your brain and say, this is going to be fun, then you're doomed before you get off the couch. This has got to be fun. Nobody forces me to lift weights. Nobody forces me to play basketball. I do it with absolute joy. It's one of my favorite parts of my week is when I get the time with me and these weights. And it's been that way since I was 13. Now, you may be 46 and you haven't done anything since that coach made you run laps. I don't know who you are, but I tell you what, you can flip the switch, but you're not going to do it by jumping in and doing 5 hours next week. You do that and you're going to feel like you can't get out of bed, and that's no way to feel. You need to do it with joy.